It's Do Time with Pastor Steph.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Rise and shine. You're on with this Do Time with Pastor Steph. How are you this morning? That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear. For this is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. So, where were you all week? We started off the week shaking the Monday morning blues, talking about the manipulative tactics that people use in a relationship. And one of the things we talked about is when they have you questioning your own reality. Yes, that gaslighting thing. You know how they do. They make you think that what you really said, you didn't say, and what you thought you said, they got you questioning if that's what you did say, how you said it, when you said it. Yes, that is a manipulative practice. What about the times when they have you trying to prove your love and loyalty, when you're trying to constantly explain to them, yes, I love you, didn't I do this? And I showed you I loved you when I did that. And yeah, that is another heavy one. And one of the other big ones we talked about is they have you feeling guilty and shame for things that aren't your responsibility. You know, I brought up when I was being abused, and he hit me one day and said, see what you made me do? Yes, that's the kind of nonsense that they will pull. And you have to make sure that you don't fall for the okie doke. Be sure of who you are. Make sure you understand who you are and what you're doing at all times. And make sure you're not the one who's moving manipulatively. Okay? All right. Well, we got the switch with Shantice on Monday. And be careful how you approach God is definitely tying into our main topic. A lot of times we go to God and we tell God, you know what, God, if you do this for me, if you do that for me, if you'll just make this happen or just make that happen, I'll make sure everything is okay. I'll do what I'm supposed to do. And all the while, you already trying to figure out how you going to make it happen with the other stuff that you're going to do. So you got to make sure you don't approach God manipulatively with your lies and with your false intentions and trying to get him to do what you need him to do before you do what he's already asked you to do. And he's already blessed you. I mean, by the time we get to God asking him for stuff, we really wouldn't be able to ask him for anything had he not already blessed us. Check that one out. Well, we talked to our girlfriend Vivian on Wow Wednesday, and we got the socially conscious segment. And the wow story was about the 3-year-old's child in Texas picked up from the daycare center. And it wasn't until later that they actually saw that there was an imperfection in his face that they didn't drop him off with. Yeah, they claimed there was a hole in his face from where the tooth had gone through the skin. Now, this hole in the face thing, I still need some clarity on, okay? Because people just describe things in a weird way. But come to find out, when they did a little investigating, that there was video that actually showed the staff at this daycare center actually abusing the children. And the owners knew about it. Yes. So after some further investigation and seeing that there were multiple occasions where these staffers had abused the children, they were fired. And I'm really hoping to hear that the owners will get some repercussion and consequences behind their behavior or lack thereof. How can you run a daycare center and all of these things are taking place and you're not even doing anything about it? Well, Therapeutic Thursday rolled around, and somebody needs some therapy because we showed a video of a young lady who was mad when her mother, who gets mad, let me put it like that, who gets mad when her mom actually tells her no. And she starts off the video, I don't like when my mama tells me no. And the backstory, the quick backstory is she had given her mother some NyQuil to help her fall asleep in a deep sleep, cut her hair, and told everybody else to be warned about saying no. Well, boy, did we need some therapy yesterday, because, baby, it was on and popping over here with the Due Time crew. Yeah, we just went down memory lane to all of the things that we could not do growing up. And my question of the morning was, at what point do you recognize the curve? At what point do you notice that your child is getting out of hand? And then what do you do? Because, see, at the age that this young lady was, she had to be maybe about 14 years old, if even that old. Let's say a long time ago, mama been having problems with her. And if you waited until the last moment to actually deal with it, yeah, that's why she putting you to sleep and cutting your hair, because you should have handled this a long time ago. So there you have it. That's how we spent our week over here on this Due Time with Pastor Steph. Well, today is Freestyle Friday, and we get to do whatever it is we want to do. Well, talk to the men is what we do. And boy, oh boy, they definitely send you into a thought-provoking weekend. So I can't wait to hear what they've got to say about some of these stories that I'm talking about. Well, today is Celebrity Day, and we will be talking about entertainment news. Well, listen, let's get this party started. Go ahead and get that healthy breakfast. Go ahead and tell somebody, anybody, everybody that it's Due Time with Pastor Steph is on. And whatever you do, don't go anywhere, because we will be right.
Culture that's been taught for years and years and years to get really clear intention about the physical matter things we want. I want $1 million in the bank. I want a private jet. I want to weigh 150 pounds. But the truth is, we really don't want those things. We want the emotion we think those things will give us. Wouldn't it be smarter for people to get, and very few people ever do, to get clear about the emotions they wish to experience on a regular basis and not the physical matter things?
That's exactly the point. That's exactly the point. And look, people can create all kinds of wealth, and they can create all kinds of abundance. They can have the cars, the homes, and everything. But if they can't be present to enjoy them, I've sat with billionaires, and they've looked me in the eye and said, "We're all miserable. We're all miserable." So then, at what point do you have to wait to change? Does it have to be that lowest point, or can you learn and change in a state of joy and inspiration instead of pain and suffering? And that becomes the art.
We have a culture that's been taught for years and years.
Good morning, and good morning again. Welcome back to It's Due Time with Pastor Steph, and it is Freestyle Friday. Yes, we get to do whatever it is we want to do, and say good morning is one of the first things that we do. So if you're in the room, make sure you let Pastor Steph know so that I can give you a hearty shout out. We got a shout out from our girl, Ketty. Hey, Kenny, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Oh, Your Highness. Mr. Terrence. How are you? Good morning. Good morning. We have a Ouija pie who is saying good morning to us. So, good morning. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, to Harry. Ooh, am I saying that right? To Hi. I don't know what to say here, but that girl, let's call that girl on the back. And good morning to you. My dad said he was going to hit me one time, but I did nothing. Good for you. You listen, this we gotta make sure we keep our behavior in check. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We gotta check in from our girl, Lady Tamika. Hey there. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. Miss Grace, if you're in the house, we're saying good morning to you and I hope that you are doing well this morning. We gotta check in. I'm sorry, we got a great PSA how our emotions actually work and benefit us and affect us. So Teddy says, great PSA. And I second that. Must say good morning to the ladies that hold us down each and every day. Let's say good morning to our girl, Shantice. Hey, Shantice. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. And we must say good morning to Anika, who logs in just to give us a hand each and every day. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right. So, yep, there you go. Good morning, Miss Grace. Glad to see you checking in for yourself. That means you're doing well. Amen. All righty. So, we have our trivia this morning. You know what we do on Fridays. That's the first thing that we do is we get our celebrity trivia on preferably. And this morning, this was constantly in the news. So I don't know what's on this list, but I don't know because I don't really know of many TV shows that are on now. I'm looking at old school stuff because I'm not impressed with the stuff that's coming out now, but I might stumble across something that I recognize. They're talking about the black TV shows that have been canceled in 2026 so far. Now we're only at mid-May point, and some these shows are a little different than years ago. Years ago, shows used to start in like September, and they used to run 26 weeks. So you had quite a bit of time on those shows, and they would probably, most times they would let them run their course. But now you've only got shows that they do like 10 episodes per season, sometimes 8 episodes per season. We have a million networks, if you will. We've got a million different topics, and I don't know what's on this list. So I say, let's see what they got, because the peoples are mad. Okay, that's all I kept seeing on the internet last night. The people were mad. People were mad because these shows are being canceled. And I gotta be honest, the stuff that I've seen, I could take them or leave them because I ain't gonna watch it if it's not good anyway. So let's see. They say there have been 33 shows that have already been canceled across the networks, cable channels, and streaming services. So let's see what's going on here. Well, the first show is the Vince Staples show. Didn't I tell you I don't know what's coming on? I never even heard of this Netflix Vince Staples show. And I look at Netflix all the time, so I don't know what's going on, but they claim that this is critically celebrated show Netflix had in its category. The Vince Staples show was running out of Long Beach about a deadpan man. Yo, bye. Okay, because I don't even know what that was. Miss Governor. Now that I did hear about. I was not that impressed. Now let me remind you of what this is. So Terry J. Vaughn, we know her like only mainly from one thing. She's been across, a couple of movies, but mainly she plays Lavita Alizé Jenkins from the Steve Harvey Show back in the 90s and 2000s, I believe. And she was given this top role in Tyler Perry's The Miss Governor. And I don't know. They originally had it called She the People. And again, it's about this governor, and they thought that renaming the show was going to make the difference. But I gotta tell you, Lovita Alizé Jenkins was crazy opposite Wendy Raquel Robinson and Steve Harvey and Said the Entertainer. But I didn't take it where she would do a good job as a lead role. Yeah, but I have to be honest, I didn't watch it, so I ain't gonna miss it either. All right, Pop the Balloon, Netflix. So what's this, all Netflix shows? Oh, Pop the Balloon. Oh, yo, whack, whack, whack. Did y'all see Pop the Balloon? Okay, so here's the premise of Pop the Balloon. So you have some ladies, and you have this guy come out, and he starts talking about, or it could be vice versa, but the ones I've seen, men, they come out, they start talking about like who they are and the things they like, and on the other end they start popping the balloons if you don't like them. Yeah, I think that's the way it works, but that's what Pop the Balloon is. They are canceling that, and guess what? Bye. That was whack, whack, whack. So you have this other show, Caramel. I don't know what this is. This was in syndication. Oh, it's it was a daytime talk show. And I guess, it was centered around mental health, community, and the kind of honest conversations that daytime talk hosts do, and it didn't. Gen Z, that was a Prime Video show. So they have this, okay. So the premise was like young adults, Gen Zs, and they didn't make it. All right. Star Trek, Starfleet Academy, Paramount Plus. Okay, buy. So those are, the shows that got axed, and most of them seem to be on Netflix. Now, I told you I didn't see no whole bunch of shows come up, so I was trying to figure out what they were talking about. And here's the thing, they were talking about people were mad. Why? Those things were whack, at least what I saw. And, I am an old schooler. I'm not the one who looks at Love and Hip Hop and, Married to Medicine and all of those kind of things. But who cares? Those things were not appealing or attractive. So do me a favor, throw in the chat room some of the old school shows that you really wish would come back. Now, we're not talking about the shows that used to be on and you look at it now and you're not really laughing. That's not the ones I'm talking about. I'm talking about the ones that you have looked at from, old school, and you crack up like it was back then. And I'll hold mine until you send me yours. But I'm going to talk about one that what I've been doing is, over the course of time, I got a couple of minutes to do this, trivia stuff. I've been going back and I've been watching from the very beginning seasons of some of the 90s shows and all the way straight through. So it might take me a little bit of time because most times that's like my late night brain off show. But I can't. I can't. Jamie Foxx is the most recent one, and I can't. I am not really laughing, so I don't know. I don't know, but I love me some Jamie Foxx. All right. So I got from Le Pepe. How do you feel about Mexican TV shows that have been canceled? I'm so sorry, Le Pepe. I haven't seen any of those Mexican shows. So I don't know. I hear George Lopez back in the day, since we're talking about back in the day. I heard George Lopez was really good, but I never got into George Lopez. But again, I wasn't into a lot of shows. So I am planning on making George Lopez. So tell me, Le Pepe, is George Lopez good? The Mexican shows that you're talking about, are they on Netflix? Are they on Prime? What are they playing on? So I'm not familiar with them. I'm sorry. Lamar says Sanford and Son was the greatest show. Best music intro. Red Fox loved him. I could do Sanford and Son. Now I am actually finishing Sanford and Son now, Lamar. And I gotta tell you, the last season, it was time for them to go. The Sanford Arms and Lamar getting married. And I mean, how long Lamar gonna date and date and date? I got it. But it just seemed to have run its course. So if they got some new writers and stuff like that, maybe. But I would love to see the original set with Bubba and Skillet and Grady. And remember when they had the party and they got drunk and Fast Fanny came through? Child, I love me some Fred Sanford. So I agree. All right, Lamar. Oh, Shanti says, I love George Lopez. Okay. I think she was one who told me. A couple of people told me they really enjoyed George Lopez's show. Lamar says, the Jeffersons. Well, I didn't even say good morning to you, Lamar. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. Lamar says the Jeffersons with Sherman Hemsley. You know what's funny about the Jeffersons? They didn't make me laugh, but they were amusing. I think I could deal with them coming back, but I just won't laugh. They didn't make me laugh. They didn't make me laugh. I got a couple of but I liked to watch the Jeffersons. They did have, a few good topics. All righty. So Lamar said, Le Pepe says, I don't know, but you're invited to, okay, Asada Auntie. Love you. Have a great day. All right, I'm going to look this up. Wait, before you go, tell me where I can find Lasada Auntie. Tell me so I can check it out, because I'm willing to check it out. And make sure you come back so you can hear me talk about it. Tamika says, good times. Thank you for joining us, Le Pepe. I appreciate you in the conversation. Good times. Again, another great show until the end. I was not impressed with Janet Jackson's existence. She didn't do anything for me. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. She didn't do much for me. Okay. Anika says, yes, George Lopez was funny. Yes, Lamar, Grady was awesome. I like Grady. Vivian, good morning. I'm currently watching Home Improvement, and it's so funny to me today. I don't remember liking it back then. All right. And that's, Viv, that's one of the reasons why I'm kind of going back, because I'm really not interested in some of the newer comedies. So I'm going back, and let me tell y'all one I love. Oh my gosh. You could give me Everybody Loves Raymond forever. Now I gotta tell y'all, I'm not one for certain comedies, but Everybody Loves Raymond, the parents take it to an entire different level. They are amazing. Alrighty. So I'm with you, Viv. I'm kind of going back and I'm looking and I'm trying to figure, because I didn't do what's his name? Jamie Foxx the first time around. And Shantice loves, what's the two brothers? The Wayans brothers. I didn't really do them, but she loves them. So I will, after, I'm almost finished Jamie Foxx. I'm in his fifth season. And after that, I'll probably do George Lopez, and then I'll do the Wayans brothers. All right. Tamika says George Lopez, too funny. All right. Yo, George Lopez is getting a lot of thumbs up. Anika says Living Single. Love that Sinclair. Good one. And that's one that I did start looking at, but just didn't finish it. All righty. Shanti says, I will never stop watching the Wayans brothers, Martin, Jamie Foxx, Steve Harvey, Moesha Good Times, and the Parkers. I can leave the Parkers because they're out here, hey, Professor Ogilvy. No, that thing just got on my nerves. Anika says, I forgot about Home Improvement. And Viv says, yes, George Lopez is pretty good. The Pepe said, I basically said you're invited to the cookout. Oh, because you're with, okay, all right. Well, where's the cookout? You gotta tell me where the cookout is. All right. And she says, oh, you calling me auntie? Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. Please subscribe, like, and send it to your friends. If you love me, that's what you'll do for me. And make sure you let me know where the cookout is. All right. Thank you. Shanti says, everybody hates Chris. That was one I also started to watch from the beginning, but I did not go into it. Anika says, Frasier is another favorite. All right. I have caught a couple of episodes of Frasier because I liked Frasier on Cheers. Now, Cheers, back in the day, I love me some Cheers with Tim Danson and Woody Harrelson. I love them. And what's her name? Rhea Perlman. I love them. So I can get with the Frasier every once in a while. Shanti says, living single. Oh, Tamika says, I still laugh at Three's Company. Oh my gosh, I haven't seen that in years. And back in the day, I loved me some Three's Company. Katie says, yes, everybody loves Raymond. I like that too, especially the parents. The parents make the show. I'm sorry, they straight make the show. Shanti says the first 2 seasons of the Wayans brothers was trash. The other seasons were amazing. And Katie says, cheers. So I love going down memory lane with y'all. I do. All right. LaPepe says, I was born 97 and Everybody Hates Chris was on every morning for me. I loved it. I'm 29 and grew up in South Central. I'm Mexican and Salvadorian. Oh, hello there. We got a whole check-in from out in South Central. At least that's where I think you are. Well, thank you so much for joining us. I've enjoyed your presence this morning. Oh, Shanti says South Central. Very short-lived. I think they had all of maybe, 6, 7 episodes, and then we never heard hide nor hair them. So maybe, I don't know. That's Lorenz Tate and Tasha Smith, I think her name was, and I can't think of the mom's name, but it was good. It was good. It was good. Lamont Bentley and Maya Campbell. It was a good show, but I honestly believe it was just before its time. All right, let's see what the news is talking about. That was fun. I love doing that with y'all. Y'all always give me some exhilaration first thing in the morning. All right, so I saw this article. Wait, hold on. Somebody's got a last little comment here. Let me see if I can catch it. Okay. Wait, hold on. I'm not catching. And something's typed out. Something's missing here. Somebody's looking good, Auntie. I don't know. Help me with that. Miss Grace says, I love all those shows, especially Everybody Loves Raymond. But give me the Honeymooners. Oh, listen, Miss Grace, you on to something right there. The Honeymooners. I could watch the Honeymoon, and except for the lost episodes, they can keep them lost. Those were whack. But the ones that they show on rotation, yo, I could sit there and watch it forever and ever and ever. And Anika says, A Different World, starting with season 2, she didn't care for Denise. Okay, that's not surprising. You know, it's amazing because a lot of the shows didn't really get momentum until they got into the 2nd or 3rd season. And I don't know how they made it through the 1st season, because the 1st season was straight whack. But somehow or another, they made it, when the seasons went on. So I guess, there was hope, and the hope, panned out. All right. So I kept coming across this also. this story, and I wasn't going to do it, but I was going to talk about it. But you know what? I blasted him in the past, and I'm one for, if I blast you, then I've got to big you up when you are doing something good. So, all right. So Pastor Jamal Bryant, you know, Pastor Jamal Bryant, he's from out in Maryland. He's got a whole lot of scandal behind his name. Well, really quickly, you know, he is the lead pastor, head pastor of New Birth Missionary Baptist Church out in Maryland. And he was the one who wanted to open up the church and with a weed spot to teach them about entrepreneurship, just a whole bunch of nonsense. He was the one who had the wife who was half naked in a black dress with just nonsense. A bunch of nonsense attached to his name. Well, he is spearheading New Birth Village, and this is a housing initiative that is supposed to bring 390 homes to Atlanta. Now, I thought New Birth was in Maryland, so maybe I got it wrong, but we got definite 390 homes, and that there is phenomenal. And they are taking, they said, approximately 35 acres of debt-free land from its campus, and they're investing it into developing 390 homes. And they're supposed to be economical, you know, affordable. And I hope affordable out in Atlanta ain't what affordable here is in New York, because it is straight whack. And I'm trying to figure out, well, who is affording these affordable homes? Because when I hear the numbers, yo, really? So shout out, big ups to Jamal Bryant. You know, great initiative. People need homes. And, you know, we definitely want to see, you know, you and other people who have the ability do some great things. Do some great things. All righty. We have another story. And where are my men at? Where are my men? They're sleeping? Might be the Stephanie show today. All right, because I hate when I have to go back over the stories because they missed it. All right, well, what else are we talking about? Shanti's, let me know when you have the video up, because I'd really like to talk to y'all about this one. I think I would get a nice level of feedback on this story. Oh, all right. Let's go with the video.
Come close right there. It's so beautiful. Come on. You're right.
Okay. Ciao. So, for those of you who don't know, Mary J. Blige has been given residency, two quick residencies in Las Vegas at the Park MGM. Now, there has been some mixed feelings about her performances. And one of the reasons why I showed you the video is because that was one of the performances that she did at the Park MGM, and the people commented on. So I'm sorry, y'all. All I can envision, because I wasn't gonna look at the video at first. And I was like, well, you know what? To be fair, let me look at the video. Because I read the whole article, and they were talking about how, some people were bigging her up, and how some people were really, upset because they were like, you know what? Well, what was that? And she has gone on the Angie Martinez show, which is her girl from back in the day, because we know, listen, Angie Martinez was with the hip hop, on one of those 105 or 97 here in New York City. And, Mary J. Blige was popping back then. So she constantly, had Mary J. on, and they developed this nice relationship. And Angie Martinez and her talked about these, particular shows that she had done. And they are commenting like crazy. So I want to know if when you went to see her residency in Las Vegas, she's sitting in a chair, in this queen's chair, and this is where she's performing from. What would you feel? Think about what you just saw, all right? So I'm going to read you some of the comments. So somebody wrote, couple days to process, but Mary J. Blige show in Vegas is a must see. Someone else wrote, Vegas doesn't owe me a thing. That Mary J. concert was just pulling her out. She was pulling out hits after hits. And what made it such an epic moment was Mary doing songs that we all love, but she never does them in concert. Like she did about 5 songs off the 411 remix album. You have another one. She's singing 100% live every night, has just enough time to change outfits before the next song comes in. Let that woman catch her breath. The show is amazing. And another one. This footage of Mary J. Blige at her residency. Lord help her. She's tired already. I would not pay for that. I wouldn't pay for this. Let's see what else they got. She's the laziest performer around besides Rihanna and SZA. And folks talking about Beyonce retiring. Mary J. Blige needs to be gone and relax. Let her down, but love her down, but my Lord. Mary J. at her residency in Las Vegas. 26 is hers, baby. A bunch of hand claps and all kinds of things. Mary J. Blige concert was lit. Purchased tickets to see her again tonight. Or maybe she wasn't sitting in the chair on that night. I don't know. Wow. Mary J. Blige is bringing out heavy hitters for her residency in Las Vegas. Babyface, Usher, 50 Cent, Method Man, and The Lox. So far, I can't wait for July. All right. So let me know if y'all wouldn't mind going to, the show, and she's sitting in the chair. So Anika says, that's how we do shows now. We're seated. Well, I have to tell you, I've seen clips on Instagram of Mary J. Blige's shows, and I got to tell you, Mary didn't gain that weight. Mary done got a little older, and Mary ain't moving like she used to move. Now, I ain't mad at her because I ain't moving how I used to move, and I ain't trying to move like this. But my thing is, I don't know. Do you belong? You know, okay, so remember now, that's how these people make their money. They definitely not from sales anymore because it's about streaming. And we've heard the issue about streaming. They pay like 10 cents a quarter, you know, per stream, you know, per song when you stream and things like that. So it wasn't like years ago when they could sell albums and things like that. So they really make their money in concerts. Well, this is not a concert, y'all. I have been to some, I'm a concert girl. And I have been to some concerts. Now, here's the funny part. They talked about Babyface coming out. Man, I have seen Babyface on a few occasions. And let me tell you something. Babyface puts up a show. Last time I saw Babyface, it was his 64th birthday. On his 64th birthday, and Homeboy was up there dancing and getting it in. So, I'm sorry. Last I checked, Mary was not 64. And, sitting up in that chair. Not only that, did y'all see her leaning? Now, I'm gonna be honest, I could even see that being done, and she's all vibrant, and you know, she's holding it down in her chair. Rock your chair, girl. But I'm sorry, this. And then she then took a little water. And look at how she drank the water. Get a glass, girl. How you got the whole big Listen. Y'all don't see me with the bottle. You might see me pouring out the bottle into the glass. But yo, this is what people are paying to see. I think that was whack, that clip there. And if that's any indication, you really got to be a Mary J. Blige fan in order to love that one. So, I don't know. Y'all let me know, because I'm really not. You know what? Let me just go straight to my man. Where my boy Ainsley at? Where my boy Ainsley at? Tamika says, I'm not paying for a performance. That means you work. And when you come on, please have top-notch hair. She looks like she's on that sugar booger. Let me tell you something. When she pulled the water down and I saw the hat twisted to the side and this blonde wig, I was done. I'm like, yo, you could look better than this. No, I understand that the hat twisted to the side was a thing. Hey, Ames, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Yo, did you see the video?
I saw the last tail of it. Yeah, yeah.
What's your thought of the last tail?
Yo, so I mean, I don't know where that I didn't catch the beginning of it, you know, so I don't know the context of her sitting in the chair.
Hold on. Where's Shantice at? Shantice, can you play it? Because now I see Pastor Jeff and Pastor KL are on, so maybe they missed it as well. So please let them see, including Ainsley, what we did, what we saw. This is worth a replay, Ains.
All right.
Come close right there. It's so beautiful. Come on. Hey.
It look worse this go around. Go ahead. What you got, Ace?
Oh, Mary. Oh man, so this looks like to me. I'm thinking because I like Mary. You know, I know people don't like her singing, but to me, she gives you entertainment. To me, this is like a whole part of her set. That moment, she needed to catch her breath. So I'm hoping she was really, she got her Mary J dance she normally does. So I'm hoping this is about, she's doing like an hour, 45-minute set, hour and a half set. This is about a little over an hour, so she had to take her breath. But I think she changes her clothes. I never saw her live, but I know she changes her clothes back and forth. So I'm thinking, hopefully, this is at the near quarters of the show. She needed to catch her breath, and it was only for that one particular song. And after that, she gets back up and do her normal Mary J, Blige dance and picks her energy back up. But yeah. But the thing is, I know our brother KL gonna talk about it. Listen, when you go on tour, stuff a residency, that stuff is really pre-planned out, and not only just the residency. When you go on tour, for long term, it's like an athlete. You gotta prepare yourself. Physically prepare yourself for that because residency, your whole set, everything is already there. It ain't no moving around. So this should be the top of your game when you get a residency.
Right.
Yeah, it don't get no better than that. A residency.
That's right.
And you bring all the bells and whistles. And if you're gonna do a song on a chair, to me it needs to be, if you have one spot, it needs to be memorable. I remember, I don't know if you remember at one time Michael Jackson was I think
you didn't. I'm sorry. You didn't comment on my chair dance. You want to pay me any attention? Okay, I'll do it again when you're ready. Go ahead, talk.
Yeah, we're going for that one. You want to get it for that one moment. All right, so I give that a pass. But you remember, I think Michael Jackson, he had broke his leg. He had to do a show on TV and whatnot. He had to do from the chair. He couldn't move. But even from that chair, he was still active, still doing the movement with the dance steps and whatnot. If you're gonna do from a chair, make it memorable, So to me, that's why this looks like it was like I gotta catch my breath.
I mean, Ace even put her head back.
I'm tired. I'm tired.
I'm worn out. Please tell me this is the last song. This is the way we going out of here right now. Oh. Let's hear what Pastor Jeff has got to say about this. Oh my goodness. Hey, Pastor Jeff.
Hey, good morning. Good morning.
How are you?
All right. How you doing?
I'm okay, thanks. I'm okay. So you paid to see Mary J. Blige, her residency out in Las Vegas, and this is part of the set. What's your thought?
Well, listen, y'all leave Mary alone. She's been around long time.
No, we ain't leaving Mary alone. What do you think? Don't tell me what to think. I told you about that before.
She's been around a long time.
What you want to do?
She done paid her dues, man. You know what I'm saying? She been in the game. So she has earned moments that she, kind of can't do it. She look like a female Bobby Brown right now.
Oh my goodness. Oh my, that was a good one, Jeff. That was a good one. Have you two seen on Instagram? There's a guy, I got to bring this up because you just got finished talking about it. There's a guy with his son. His son is like a teenager and they're sitting on the couch and they said, this is what we got. And you got my prerogative. And you show Bobby Brown at the video.
Yeah.
And then they show, this is what they get. And they show Bobby Brown standing at the microphone, looking like Mary.
Yeah.
About that. You saw that video, Ainsley?
Yeah, I saw it. Right.
Oh, that I was
It's like,
hollering.
come on, man. Yeah.
Yes, and that's what you just reminded me of, Pastor Jeff.
Yeah.
When you said she looked like a Barbie bride. You're right. You're right. I got.
They still trying to make that money, but they tired. They tired.
And tied in more than one way. Oh my goodness. Where's Pastor KL? Because I know he got something to say about this one.
I know he do, bro.
Hey, Pastor KL.
Why did I have to watch this twice? I watched it the first time already. I need y'all to stop coming on late. Why did I have to watch this twice? First, let me say, Pastor Jeff, happy anniversary on your 23rd Psalms. Happy anniversary.
All right, thank you, sir.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
But listen,
Oh
these folks out here, I love Ainsley, I love Jeff, but they can't sing.
Yeah, I'm
Mary
sorry.
J. Blige cannot. I never liked Mary J. Blige. First of all, let's look at the whole ambiance. They had the smoke and everything. She looked like she was going up yonder. I thought she was going to get her wings. You know what I mean? It looked like she was about to transition.
Oh my goodness gracious.
I was like, is she unalived? And then all the money she got, who put that wig on her?
Thank you.
So did you have not one friend? There's not a friend like the lowly Jesus. Didn't Jesus say no, not one? No, not this one. No, not this one.
Yeah, that was whack. Yeah.
She was bad.
Yeah. I thought the same thing with the wig. I was like, this is a residency. You know you're gonna be on how many times? Where is your hairdresser? You cannot mask that bad wig with a hat twisted to the side. See, you know what? Here, I'm gonna respond to you, Pastor Jeff. If you all that tired, then you need to turn down the residency. I'm sorry, because
you never know. She might need the money. Everybody just assumes.
I'm sure she needs the money. I don't doubt that.
So
I don't doubt it, my brother.
Do what you gotta do, man.
Well, at the risk of being talked about, because that wig was looking twisted underneath that hat. And I was like, why? You got a residency, you got these shows. How much is it gonna cost for a hairdresser? Somebody that's been doing your hair all these years. Stop.
How about this though? I didn't notice a wig being off that much. But how about it was on good? But maybe right before that chair scene, she was out there doing her Mary J. Whatever she could, doing as physical as she could, and and then it got twisted a bit.
You know what? Then where's your hairdresser? Let me tell you something, Ains. When you run back to change them clothes, you get a touch up. They touch your hair up. They touch your makeup up. They go sit down. Go sit down. Go sit down. That ain't happening in no one set, Ains. They ain't happening in no one set. That wig been off, and they got to that point and said, "Here, put this hat on, because this ain't gonna reveal how bad this wig look." You know what? I'm real funny about something. I'm not a hair person. I'll tell y'all that from. I ain't never been. Shantice, Shawnee's, Tamasia, they sure didn't get that from their mama, because they gonna make sure them heads are tight. Me, listen, I rock a ponytail. I don't know. I care nothing about no hair. But my thing is, if you're in the limelight like these women are, listen, you got a wig. Then all these little people who are on YouTube who tighten up these wigs, y'all pay big time people for this stuff. Y'all don't even go to the little people. Little people tear them wigs up. They look good. Why y'all on TV, on the stage, looking like the birds been picking at it? I don't understand. I don't get
Maybe
it.
maybe it was a wig malfunction. You know, she did like this.
Not maybe. Not maybe. Maybe that was a wig malfunction. Yeah, they no, no. All right, I got a conversation for you guys that I had last week, and this is I wanted to finish it off because we did not have an opportunity to finish it. So Spike Lee is actually what they call defending this Michael biopic. So the story is that, remember, part of the movie could not go forward because of the accusations and the whole issue of him paying these people off, and of this child sexual scandal thing. So a lot of people were criticizing the fact that, and I am one of them, I was like, why did we see through 1988? So that's where they ended. They ended the movie on where Bad was being, made popular. And a lot of people were criticizing, the critics were criticizing the fact that, 1988 is where it ends, and, he did so much more afterwards. A lot of viewers said the same thing. So Spike Lee is jumping in, and he was like, listen, the reason why the movie ends at 1988 is because they got snagged with not being able to push forward and get rid of a lot of the scenes that they had actually filmed post the accusations. And he says that they're missing the point. He says the choice to limit the film's timeline doesn't support the addition of the accusers. So in other words, if you understand the fact that there is this whole issue with not including that, then you should understand that that's why the movie had to end where it did. Now he says the stuff you're talking about, accusations, happened later. So you're critiquing the film on something that you want in, but it doesn't work in the timeline of the film. But people showed up and people said that they really liked it anyway. So his thing is, leave it alone. Leave it alone. He got to know Mike on a very personal level. He did a couple of his videos, and I thought I remembered it, but I didn't really remember it. But They Don't Care About Us is one that he did. He did the documentaries Bad 25 and Michael Jackson's Journey from Motown to Off the Wall in 2016. And he's saying that, listen, if that's how it went down, that's how it went down. If you don't understand, then be quiet. Don't criticize the movie, accept it. So I'm gonna start with you, Pastor Jeff. That's part of what, and before I read some of these comments, that's part of what was going on with Spike and his comment about, the movie did not finish. Did you see the movie?
Yes, I saw the movie.
What did you think of the movie?
I mean, it was pretty good.
Okay.
I enjoyed it.
Did you have a feeling about the movie ending at 1988 with Michael Jackson doing so much more after Bad?
Yeah, I did, but I just figured they was going to have a part 2.
They claim they are. They claim they are having a part 2. So what do you feel about what Spike Lee is saying? Spike Lee is saying, you know what? If you don't understand that they could not go past 1988, because I got a question based on something you just said. Something's been rolling around in my head, and I'm going to see if the three of you pick it up. what do you feel that does he feel like, yeah, shut up and leave it alone? Critics as well as viewers need to leave well enough alone.
Well, I feel like the man dead now, right? And even though we speculate that he liked little boys and did all that stuff, we've never proven it. You understand? Just because he paid people off, that doesn't prove, because a lot of times it's cheaper just to pay folks off and keep it moving. So I say he dead now. You gotta leave it alone. Stop trying to make him Lester. Make him he never got convicted. It never was proven. Leave it alone. But people keep trying to keep that going.
It's not that they're trying to keep it going. What happened was they wrote the script, they filmed it, and then was notified that certain things could not be mentioned because when Michael Jackson paid off the family, there was an agreement that certain things could not be mentioned going forward. So what they had to do was they had to cut a lot of the movie out and now kind of make up for it in other ways, which is one of the reasons why the initial date of release was shifted until when we got, this last date. So it's not that people are trying to bring it back up. What they're saying is, listen, why didn't we see past 88? They didn't realize it wasn't put out there like that. They put out, the only thing they said was, we can't air certain things because of the agreement Michael Jackson made with the family. They did not say in its entirety, hey, we can't put out anything past 1988 because of what Michael Jackson and the family agreed to. So it's not that people are bringing it up. Spike Lee is responding to the critics and the viewers who are upset that they pretty much didn't see anything different than what we've already seen in the past. So, Ainsley, what's your thought?
Yeah, I think as long as people don't understand, look, there was a legal reason. Even, first of all, they did shoot it. I understand they did shoot the stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yes, they did.
As a plan, but then later found out they had to do stuff over, and millions, I think it's about almost about $25-50 million had to be of money
right
spent to figure it out, and then make sure that ending, not the beginning, and there's a flow still. I haven't seen the movie, but to make sure there's still a flow from the beginning to the end on what now. You talking about millions of dollars, so that's just how it is. Period. And so I didn't know it ended in 1988 until you just mentioned it.
Yeah.
So I would think, all right, you just got it for a part two, examine, can you make a viable movie from him from that point on until he passes? A significant amount of that, though. I mean, if you want to really be biopic, you really got to touch on those allegations because it is very significant to him and whatnot. Even though he was never convicted of a crime and anything like that, I would think you would want to put that in there because after all the allegations, everything he had to go through, the whole humiliation and stuff like that. I'm not saying innocent, but I'm saying he has been proven guilty. So, I mean, I would think you want to put that in there. But now the state can't. So if I think maybe for part two, I don't know how significant a movie can be from that bad point on, but I think people. I don't know why people got want to criticize. You want to criticize? I put up some money and you do it. You make a movie with the part you want to see and see what happens.
Well, I'm going to respond to that. I was one who was annoyed that it ended in 1988, and I know he died in 2009. I could, off the top of my head, I could think of several videos and things like that that he did and things that happened. I didn't understand it to be. I did understand the issue of certain things could not be mentioned. They had to redo some stuff they had to push the date. That I was aware of, but I didn't realize that it was going to stop in 1988. Because pretty much there wasn't anything new in the movie. Like we had spoken about here on With the Men, that was what you specifically spoke about, the fact that if you're not going to reveal anything new, then why am I supposed, you could use my money to go see it? Well, that's exactly what happened. There was nothing really new per se. So that's what people were complaining about. People were complaining about, hey, we didn't see anything new. We thought we could, not only that, there were other things that they thought could be mentioned, has nothing to do with the legalities or whatever the situation is, but
so
the comments.
Jeff, so you said you saw the movie. So do it touch on like him getting married to what's her name, Elvis Presley's daughter, and how he got his kids? None of that.
None of that.
That's what I'm saying. Yes. No. There were things that happened that have nothing to do with the legalities of that situation that they surely could have mentioned, and that we have not seen the up close storylines of this situation. They showed Jackson getting a beating by the father. Well, we already know that he used to get beatings and things like that. They showed when he got the monkey delivered. Yo, really? We really had to see that piece? Okay. How he got, the monkey was delivered on the truck and everybody was at the, he must have told everybody he was going to get this delivery and everybody was excited to see what he was going to get. So everybody runs into the driveway only to get Bubbles delivered.
Yeah, see, but here, I think this is where, you want the family's approval of stuff, right? But like we said, if you're gonna be about it, talk about it, show all the good, the bad, and the ugly. And so I want to talk about the whole I forget Elvis Presley, I forgot her name. That the whole
Priscilla. Is that Priscilla? No, that's the mother. Marie, Lisa Marie.
Yeah, all that, show all that. You know what I'm saying? Show me something different.
Right. So that's what people were really saying.
So I know the family ain't gonna want to show that. So I'm like, okay, so here we go again. It's a nice $200 budget of a remake of something we already seen.
Right. So that's what people are complaining about. Pastor KL, Spike Lee says, "Shut up, you don't understand." And these are the legalities, and don't critique it.
I'm in the movie. I can't.
Your audio,
we can't hear you. We can't hear you. All right, he's gonna go out and come back in. Is he? Oh, he's on the other. Well, okay, what's happening here? Right,
little technical difficulties.
Yes, we have to get him a new device because we went through this yesterday. I can read some of the comments. Tamika is talking about Mary J. She says she is known for going through hair extremes, and this is how you present yourself. There's a check-in from Serge. Hey, Serge, good morning. Thank you for joining us. Shartice is saying, why couldn't they move forward without including the accusations? That wasn't the basis of his life after 1988. So they plan on making more money from people by putting out a part 2. This didn't even make sense to me. No, because that's after 1988. And that's what I thought you guys were going to say. So if you stop the movie at 1988, because you could not include anything after 1988 because of the legalities, then what you making a part 2 of? That's what I want to know. What am I going to the movies to see when you say that all of these things can't be included in the movie? So what you showing me?
Right. That's what I said. So I mean, can you make a movie just from him from 1988 up to the time he passed?
Right.
Or are you going to really highlight now him having to get these drugs to get to sleep? Are you going to really dramatize his death and how that happened and stuff like that? You know what I'm saying? You got to show. Listen, it can't be like the dramatic good stuff. You got to be the ugly. If he's on drugs, taking these drugs that only a doctor can give, that or whatnot, you got to show that. Show how you was introduced to that and whatnot.
Right.
Matter of fact, I think that drug started happening when I think he had caught on fire and stuff like that for pain, whatever. You got to show all of that stuff, man.
And you know what? I thought that would.
I don't want to see that or show or display that and show that. But to me, at this point, how many movies have you seen of Michael Jackson? I mean, come on, man. Let's get real with this. Come on. It's not going to tarnish his
right. If you're gonna love him, you're gonna love him. Yes, right. I agree.
His legacy is already cemented and whatnot. Let's just shed more light on it. You know what I'm saying? So,
well, I thought, Ainsley, that's what they were gonna do. They did touch on again when his hair caught on fire. They talked about a little bit more. And they did talk about there was some painkillers. And I thought that was going to be the segue into what you were talking about. I was like, oh, they're going to talk about this stuff here. And no, it got cut off. What they did was they showed more of Joe Jackson's, side of, his concern of Michael being able to perform more than his concern that he was actually injured. So that's where they took it. So, but I really thought that.
Let me ask y'all a question. Y'all both saw it. All right. So, cause I didn't see it. So I heard, the show with Joe Jackson, he did a lot. So do you think they could have minimized some of the abuse scenes if they had the scenes with him with the accusation parts?
Jeff, I'll let you answer first.
Do you think they had to highlight more of those abusive scenes because now there is no more beyond 88? They couldn't go to the accusations, so fill up that timeline. Maybe got to boost that part up.
What you got, Jeff?
Well, if they went past 88. All of that would have had to come into play for it too, because that was what consumed us about Michael during those times, Mm-hmm. So, in order to show his life, you would have had to really bring all that out. That's 88, I mean, what else would? I mean, yeah, he did a couple of hits, but most of the publicity surrounding him was that all those accusations and all of that. And yeah, it will his legacy. I
don't agree. I don't agree. I don't agree that was. I do agree. Let me start with that. I do agree that a lot of attention was given to all of the allegations. I do. But I do believe that there's more information. There was more to Michael Jackson than just allegations, because that's how I will read it. I read it as, okay, because there's more than one way to say something. If you're saying that you could not put anything else out there because his life was consumed with these allegations, there had to be other parts of his life if he was still able to make hits. There had to be other parts of his life. He managed to get children. So there were other parts of his life, like Ainsley said.
Those children things, it was all scandal, like.
Right, I mean, show that.
Right, but still, so what? That's not in the clause. The clause that they keep leaning on, the clause of him and the family of the sexual molestation. Them kids ain't got nothing to do with sexual molestation in that family. So if there was scandal, so what? Show it.
Those kids are claiming, because they, money. They're claiming to be his legitimate kids, but the biopic would really have to bring out the whole cloud of the lies that those are his kids.
But what does that have to know?
But
Well, no, I don't know. What does that have to do? My question is, what does that have to do with this whole? So I settled with Jeff Burns and his family. We cannot talk about going forward Jeff Burns and what happened with Jeff Burns and this payoff. I don't care how scandalous it is with the children, Prince and whatever these other two kids' name. That is separate and apart from the Jeffrey Burns and this and the allegations. If there's a scandal on the other side, so what?
What I'm saying is the family, the kids, probably didn't want that brought out. I mean, you said the family, had things that they just didn't want.
That's what I'm That's what I'm saying. So
you don't bring the drugs, you don't bring the kids. How much?
So then, what is part 2 gonna be made of, Jeff?
That's what I don't know.
If we getting that deep that you can't mention the allegations, the kids don't want you to talk about us, nobody wants you to talk about the drugs, then leave the whole Michael story alone. Ain't nothing left.
They already made some money off the other part. I mean, they did what they could, Well,
but listen, that's what I'm saying. So you made this part off of the first Michael. Then if all of this other stuff is taboo, then what are you possibly bringing us if you can't mention anything?
Did they say they bring in the part 2?
Yes, they said there's a part 2.
I mean, okay, there is. All right, okay. Now, all right, how about this? Did they get into, for his business acumen, buying the Beatles catalog, and then giving,
not really,
and then giving, what's his name? What's the guy who did Tutti Frutti? Little Richard.
Yes.
Giving him his publishing after all those years. He gave some of the artists the business acumen to say, listen, I got it. Here you go. You can make your money and stuff like that. To get that information, you know what I'm saying? You start showing this big acumen. I think as admirable as that is, I don't know how much of a movie you can make off of that. Part 2. I'm just saying.
But maybe if you clip all those little things together, Ains.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you could, because this would show an entirely different side that a lot of people didn't know about. I don't know nothing about him and Little Richard and him giving, away the publishing and things. I have no idea of that. How many other people don't know? But if you can clip those pieces together, then maybe that would make. But you're going to have to bring something that is of true interest to people.
Right.
And
bring
again,
stuff you don't know.
Right.
He died on a scandal. He was getting ready to expose all the pedophilia in Hollywood when he died.
But how you going to expose pedophilia when you got something that you can't talk about?
No,
what the heck?
That's part of the, if they want to bring out the true story, part of all the accusations put on him for that child stuff was Hollywood trying to deflect and taint him because he was about to give up the goods. He was going to bring out. That still makes
sense to me. Maybe it makes sense to Ainsley. I get what you're saying, but if I get what you're saying. He's getting ready to blow the whistle on Hollywood, on the True Hollywood story regarding all of the pedophilia. But you can't talk about no pedophilia when you didn't just sign a clause that said, I paid somebody off. And like you said, they have said many times, a lot of times it's just easier to pay the people off, get them out your hair. But they ain't right. But it ain't out your hair if you can't talk about it. I'm sorry. Call me crazy. So now I'm going to talk about somebody else being accused. I'm going to talk about somebody else.
Listen,
pedophilia.
Yeah,
I got my own pedophilia going on.
Well, I can see that because I'm thinking, Lord Pastor Jeff, what up, bro? Come back.
Did he put himself in the dark?
No, I think by accident.
Okay. All right, that ends until Jeff comes back.
Yeah, I can see it. I mean, to me, from the position that he's innocent. He had to go through all of this stuff, right? And so now he knows he's on the inside, very much on the inside, on the higher echelon of all the stuff that goes on behind the entertainment. He's privy to a lot of stuff. If he's going to break it down, he can put it from, listen, look, I know what I'm going through, and I'm going through this largely because, you know, the conspiracy, people don't like me because I took the very valuable the publishing and stuff like that, and my knowledge, and because now, you know, I didn't want not to come back. Now if I got to come back out on tour, or if I got to come back on tour, I'm going to blow up the spot. I can't talk about my person, but this thing here. I signed the what do you call it? An NDA. What I can't talk about this, but you know I know some stuff, so I'm going to talk, but I just can't talk about that. But I'm going to blow the whistle. Nah.
Let me that don't make no sense to me, and I'll tell you why it makes no sense to me.
Why it don't make no sense?
There are still because there are people. Okay, so like I said, let's say that the actuality is he is innocent and he only paid this to get this out the way. Okay,
right.
But there are still people that wholeheartedly believe two things. One, there are still people who wholeheartedly believe that he is guilty. They do not feel that he paid it off just to get it off his plate. Number two, let's not forget, Ains, they were not the only people that made accusations.
Of course.
And it was other people who he did pay off.
Right.
See, so then how am I going to go forward when I got in my own backyard? I got a list, not one, because what you said could make sense. Well, you know what? I know I got my stuff, but that blah, 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 blah. But you don't only have that story. You've got other accusations, and it ain't no one and two other accusations. This became a huge issue of Michael Jackson supposedly molesting children. So how in the world, if you got people on the table who are accusing you of molesting children, and you have paid off someone separately than those, and when there were people who still look at you as being guilty, I can't open up my mouth and talk about nobody else. You know why? Because that's going to draw more attention on me. Because you better believe there are going to be others out there that says, oh, you want to talk about others? We're going to really dig into your stuff to see if you are really guilty. Since you want to talk about everybody else, we're going to bring your stuff out even more. So I don't think that would have been a small move anyway, personally.
Yeah,
Where's Jeff? Wait, hold on. Go ahead. I'm going to put Jeff back in. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. So, I mean, because basically, you know, his credibility is kind of shot talking about this because he didn't have all this stuff.
Right.
But don't you think they already went to the woodworks already trying to make up everything? Because his thing is, bro, you should know better than that, man. You know, maybe you didn't have the childhood, so you want to experience childhood through others and blah, blah, blah. So you doing this, which is not the move, and that inherently is going to bring all of these problems. So I don't think they don't went through the litany of everybody, every child he probably was in contact with, and I don't know how many people he done paid off and stuff like that. So
say that again. Say that again. Wait, hold on. Say that part again.
I don't know how many people he done paid off.
Right. So think about it this way. Let me throw your question back at you. So you're saying they did all this work, right? They did all this digging, but at the end of the day, we still don't know. You don't think that once he opened up his mouth, there would be people out there trying to find out how many he did pay off? And now we would find out it went from the 2 we know about until the 19 we had no idea about. Oh, you better believe that's going to draw you a whole lot of attention.
If I'm innocent, if I think innocent, if I had 25 claims, I had to spend like $80 million to rid of this stuff. Yeah, this is what I had to do. And I'm not found guilty of all of it.
That's what you saying. That ain't what the big people saying. That ain't what the famous people saying. Because my thing is, if you knew you weren't guilty, why pay off anybody?
Because
if you're going to take that stance.
You know, the system set up is easier to pay you like
I
$2.5 million
agree,
now
but you
and
can't
pay you
come back
30
and,
million each.
but then
Yeah.
you can't come back and say what you just said.
Just like,
I'm agreeing with you, but you
just
can't
like,
come back now and say, well, go ahead. You didn't
just
already pay
like,
them off.
just like in the criminal justice system, people take plea deals that are innocent because if they lose, they'll get life or they'll get,
You're right.
So
Right. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mike paid off people. It was never proven, but on closer to his death, he was ready to say, forget all of that. He was bringing it all out because they tainted him to shut him up. You know, they push these people to, do this and to shut him up. Yeah, he paid folks off, but he was ready. He was that. I really believe that's why he was killed. I believe he was murdered, just like Whitney Houston, just like just like Prince. They always get ready, just like Kobe Bryant was about to do some stuff, and I believe he was killed. Okay, so you don't know.
And you're right. You're right. I don't know. And I listen. I'm gonna be honest. I've never. I'm the type. I don't say anything when I don't know. That's the biggest thing with me. So I never really weighed in on whether he was innocent or guilty. Why? I wasn't there. I don't know if he paid the people off because he was guilty. I don't know if he paid the people off because like you both have said. I agree. It's easier just to get some things off your plate. And if you got the money, then you go ahead and you take care of it. I don't know. I wasn't there. My mouth is closed. That's why I ain't sitting on no jury. People lie. People tell you all kinds of things. I don't know. My mouth is shut. My whole thing is I don't see how later I'm coming up talking about anybody because that's going to definitely draw more attention to me. Why? Because it's been done. It's been done over and over and over again. One of the reasons why they say he lost his Neverland Ranch is because he had to pay off all them people. He could no longer afford the Neverland Ranch. My biggest question was, well, I thought you owned it. How now you ain't, because they claim the story was he had to pay so many people off from the allegations. He ended up having to lose the ranch. That's why he couldn't keep the ranch. So whether that was true or whether that was false, I don't know. But clearly, this again, they said that there were many others that were paid off. So here's my question. Let's play the game where this one family that we're talking about that interfered with the movie, you paid off just to keep them quiet. How many you gonna live the rest of your life doing this? You're gonna pay 6 and 9 and 12 people off? Opposed to just, if you're gonna get to the point where you're gonna blow the whistle on everybody because you're gonna throw in the towel and say, listen, I'm tired of this. It's gonna be after 12 people, you tired? At what point you gonna keep on giving up your money because you innocent?
I think I'm guessing what as Jeff was saying, it's not about tired of it's the stuff he's been having to go through. From the other, again, the vendetta against him because of his business acumen and whatnot. And this is the sore spot for him, hanging around kids. I think him going after those who has a vendetta against him, So to me, it's blow up the whistle on everything that they're doing. The blowback is
I got it.
The blowback is because to me, I'm like, if you like, I mean, we all love children. I mean, I love youngins and whatnot. But my thing is, if you're gonna do something like that, sleepover, I would have a guardian, have cameras up and whatnot, so everybody know. So
this is on the up and up.
There is
Right.
no inkling of anything going wrong like that. And because you're in the limelight,
Right.
the
Right.
gold thing is coming, no
Right.
matter what, all shades and whatnot. So I don't know why you didn't have that in place. To me, that's like, dog. Come on, man. Come on. So you allow stuff like this to happen in the first place. All prevention is better than cure. So he allowed this stuff there, but I think it's probably his coming out is going to dealing with those who had a vendetta against him. I don't know.
And like I said, I don't question that this could have been, where he was. But I just venture to say that to me would have just made your life worse, because there are people who are really out there trying to get you. Because who's to say that even the supplement accusations were actually valid? Because we know that there are copycat people. You just saw somebody get money. Oh yeah, I was in the bed too. You know what I'm saying? So how many of those, actually existed? So like you said, Ames, when you're in the limelight. So okay, so then I venture to also say, I'm with you. Why you didn't take this into consideration that you could possibly be snagged? So you do all of the preventive measures. You make sure that there are guardians. If they don't have their own guardians, you make sure that there are other people there, neutral people who won't speak for you, won't speak for them, whatever the situation is. Okay, so you made the mistake and innocently went into that one round. But when it kept happening, not one time did they ever say he learned his lesson, and now when Michael Jackson has children with him, he has a whole slew of people. So at what point are you even going to learn to say, because we're all stupid at one point. We're all innocent. He's excited about the children are excited about him. So they have these sleepovers and things like that. Okay, so you got snagged with these people. Now, going forward, I'm definitely taking the precaution to make sure I don't get, but there was never, ever, ever. Something else that came up. Remember when he dangled the baby out the window? Why not talk about that? Listen, Michael Jackson's life was full of scandal. Ain't nowhere in the world you gonna walk around and you ain't gonna talk about no scandal in Michael Jackson's life. This man was full of scandal, as talented as he was. Whether it was people coming after him because of jealousy, whether people were coming after him, as you said, Ames and Pastor Jeff, because of vendetta, because of how he handled business, and he looked out for those who were being cheated. Regardless, he was just, everything was just negative for him.
Yeah,
but
I forgot about the baby thing hanging out.
Yes, there were so many things.
But you know what? I ain't mad at that. You know why? Because this maybe to me, maybe Jeff, you could shed some light on. To me, it's like, I guess for men and women, I remember I had my daughter. It was like I used to throw up in the air, catch her, and I thought like, oh my God, it's a baby. When we hold the baby, it's like, oh, you gotta be more gentle with her. It's just a man thing. That's what we do. It's like we do stuff like that. It would appear to be dangerous, but ain't like that's just a man thing. So I ain't mad at that. This is my baby, y'all.
And I ain't mad at you either. But again, there are other things that they could talk about. That's all I'm saying. Whether it's good or bad, there are other things they could talk about. Dad, Jeff, how many times did you dangle your son across the banister?
Nah, I was gentle with my kids, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what you're talking about. That's the man thing, man. You got some issues there, man, my brother.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It was just a lot of stuff.
Handled them with kid gloves.
Oh my goodness!
There were a lot of
things.
Get
me to admit to no crimes, man.
No, Jeff, you didn't already been in enough trouble, so you're not going to add and stack the deck against yourself.
Child abuse? No.
I know. I thought the same thing, Jeff, when he said, "Oh," I threw him up in the air, and I was like, "Oh." Yeah. What happened?
Never threw him.
Oh my gosh. But like I said, whether it's that him dangling him from the balcony, whether it was excitement, and I'm not casting any guilt or innocence. What I'm saying is there are many things that could be talked about when it comes to Michael Jackson, because he's Michael Jackson. You know what I'm saying? So that's why my thing is this whole, you can't talk about this, so you talk about nothing else. because, oh, well, you can't talk about this because of that. Then why write a book? Why write the book if everything is forbidden to be spoken about?
You know what?
Anika's,
The only way that could be done, you got to do it without the permission of the family. They don't want to go be. You got to do it and say, listen, this one I'm going to just show what I can. You know, the good, the bad, and the ugly. You ain't gonna like the bad and the ugly, but that's part of his life, and that's what it is. It's public.
well, now you deal with the potential lawsuits, correct?
No, what lawsuit? If it's public record, and then what you can show is true, putting the baby out. He did the drug use from the doctor who gave him all that eventually killed him. Or you just it's there. They don't know how he got the kids. It is what it is.
So I got a question for you. So I got a question after the comment. Anika says, why would one put out a movie and not expect critiques? Which is true. I don't care how great your movie is. There's going to be people who, right, there's going to be critiques. So you're absolutely right. She says, I didn't see it, right. But, she says, but as I thought, nothing new. Right. Okay, so here's what I want to ask. So if it's as simple as, you know what, I want to put the movie, I can prove that these things are true. I'm going to do the investigation. I'm going to be fair. I'm not going to put out in a movie or a book about this particular person's life, and I don't have to worry about a lawsuit. Then why won't more do it? Why do you think more people won't do it?
Because you like to have the approval of the family, right? I listen, because I believe Janet had nothing to do with the movie, right?
Right, that's what they said. Right,
she's not even involved in it at all.
Right,
and whatnot. Right. You don't want so I would think, how would you want to put a movie and the entire family don't like it or have anything to do with it? So it may lend credibility, double-edged sword. The family don't want it. How you gonna put a movie out that the family don't like or don't like how their loved one is being portrayed? So but I'm like, but the truth is the truth. So I can maybe, instead of not being a film, it's a what you call a documentary.
Documentary. Okay.
Right. That way, you're trying to get to the truth, the essence of really what happened, say from 88 to on up and stuff like that.
Okay. Because I thought that the fear was a lawsuit. That if you put out things that we did not stamp as being authorized, then we can sue you because of this particular information.
Well, I mean,
that you put out. That's what I thought.
No matter how you put it, everybody's gonna throw about, oh, I don't like how you set me in a different light. My reputation, blah blah blah. But the truth is the truth. You know what I'm saying? So, unless there's some legal, a legal agreement, like I can't talk about this, that, and another. All right, then okay. Well, it is.
All righty. My due time guys, it's always great talking to y'all. Send us into a thought-provoking weekend. And we lost Pastor KL with his cheap phone. So tell him I said so. And sue me if you don't like what I said. It's been great, guys. Thank you so much for your contribution into today's episode. And
we did another Friday without a Jeff story. Oh man.
Jeff, you gotta come.
I'm all out.
Oh, I'm not believing that.
I believe that would either.
I'm not believing that you are out. That ain't nowhere in the world. Ain't nowhere in the world. But make sure you come on next week, God spares, with a story. But we have to trigger Jeff. That's what happens. When we talk about stuff and it's like, once that memory comes back, he gets stimulated and he then tells us the story. Yeah. So have a wonderful weekend, guys. Thank you so much.
Y'all be good.
Okay.
All right, you too. Gotta put my glasses on to see how to get rid of these guys. There you go. There you go. There you go. Hmm. All right. We had a big week here on It's Due Time. And there are a lot of things that I want to check my I want to check my I want to check my be careful how you approach God. Okay, that's what I wanted to, because I wanted to see if that could be carried across the board. And yeah, yeah. I'm going to take it from the opposite side. All week we've talked about things about being manipulative and being upfront and how we handle things. And, the Word of God teaches us that our first relationship, the most important relationship, is our relationship with God. When that relationship is intact, it says, but seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. You don't have to worry about how it ends. Not that it won't happen, because the Word of God says the weapons will be formed, but none shall prosper. And these are all the things that we're talking about when how to approach God. When we approach God and we are loyal, when we are humble, when we are true to what we say to God and how we develop that relationship, we seem to forget that relationship needs to be developed the same way we go after these regular relationships. We're buying flowers, man. We're pulling out the chair. We're taking you out. We're showing you a good time. We're trying to, show you women that, I'm the man, that you want to spend the rest of your life with, or at least you want to spend time with. Ladies, we go out, we get that mani-pedi, we do our hair, we buy those new clothes, we get that makeup done. We're always there to answer their call. See, we forget that all of the energy that's put into these earthly relationships, we miss the mark because we don't develop that relationship with God. And because we don't develop that relationship with God, we then end up with all of these different scenarios that we've been through all week. And we land here with the Michael Jackson, with the Spike Lee who says, y'all don't understand, don't critique it. And I'm with Anika. I don't care what you do, no matter how great it may be. I don't care how bad it may be. There are going to be people that love it, even when it's bad. And there are going to be people that hate it, even when it's good. And when you make yourself public or your stuff public, you put it out for scrutiny. I don't understand these people who get upset when they put their stuff out here and people don't like it. You may not like that they don't like it because, of course, you're trying to put out content that you want people to enjoy. But at the end of the day, everybody's not going to enjoy it. There are people who really sit and they pay attention and they watch for stuff that they can pick with. And that's why I said Michael Jackson blowing up the industry. You can't blow up the industry when you got scandal against your own name. Who does that? When is that a thing? When is that a thing? Who does that? There's nowhere in the world. And we all know that our backyard is not spotless. We get that. But most times when you have people who look to blow up, their stuff is kind of like in the closet. You know what I'm saying? Like they like, shh, don't tell nobody that this happened back when I was 5, and don't tell nobody this happened back when I was a teen. And are those records still sealed in the government? That's the way we live. We don't live where I got a whole scandal actively going on. Because like I said, Michael Jackson was full of scandal. I don't care what it was, because people want to pick. So whether it was good scandal, meaning whether it was stuff that was good but they made bad, or there was just stuff that this was bad that they highlighted and, you know, showed how bad it was, it still was scandal. So how you gonna blow up the industry and you got secrets? And I say secrets because a movie couldn't even be made. Part of that movie with millions of dollars having to be scrapped because of an agreement. We're not going to talk about this. Now, call me crazy, but what is there not to talk about if I ain't did nothing? Call me crazy. Call me crazy. Again, I go back to, this is why we need to have a relationship with God. Because at the end of the day, all of God's will be vindicated. Anything that belongs to God will be vindicated. He says, you know what? You sit back. Revenge belongs to me. Vengeance is mine. Sit back. I'm going to handle. I'm going to be the one that fights your battles. Now, here's the problem. If I have not approached you a certain way, if I have not developed that relationship with you, then are you really going to fight my battle? If I have not developed that relationship with you, if I have not gotten to know you that well, can you fight my battle? Because there's scandals still going on. There's things we can't even talk about. So this is how the world is all mixed up. It may make sense to you that somebody can actually try to expose when I got my own stuff knowingly hidden. So I paid you off $1 million because I need to just get you out of here. And that's going to settle my peace of mind. Then what am I signing we can't talk about? Because if anything happened, what we talking about? We got to work on these things. And this is the way the world operates. And the only way you're going to, not that you won't go through stuff, but the only way you're going to be vindicated is to let God do the job. Because see, we are powerless here. So here it is. He died in 2009. We almost at 2029, almost 20 years later. What, 18 years later? What, 17 years later? And still, people are mad because he's being critiqued. Well, I don't agree that he's going to be scarred. Because listen, them people that was falling out over Michael Jackson and they got to be rushed to the emergency room, they ain't gonna care. They ain't gonna care. All the people who was in those stadiums or in those fields or whatever, and they got to cart people out and they got to do all this, them people ain't gonna care what you say about Michael Jackson now, because you can find him guilty. All the stuff will come out and they'll tell you, well, he's still a good musician. I still love me some Michael Jackson. I don't believe that that's going to put no big dent in the lovers of the Michael Jackson music, his life, his existence. That's going to be some big mark and scar against him. But here we are, almost 20 years later, and this stuff is still coming out. Well, it'll come out until the day he closes his eyes. The day God I don't know the day he closes his eyes. The day God wraps all of this up. It's not going to stop. It'll be going on past the time God closes my eyes. We have to develop a relationship with Christ. And that way, when we have all of these burdens, we have a place to take them. He says, bring them here. Bring them here. Just take everything and just put it at the altar and leave it there. And you have to deal with the consequences of your behavior. And like Ainsley said, he did not protect himself. If he's innocent, he did not protect himself from the beginning. And I contend that you didn't protect yourself thereafter. Because if you did, there would be less accusations going on. Like I said, that was the story, that all of this money had to be repeatedly paid out, where the Neverland Ranch no longer belonged to him. Something that he built, something that was his playground, where all of these children were literally taken. They were all taken to the Neverland Ranch. So here it is, all of this has to go. So you start thinking, does God wipe out Sodom and Gomorrah? If all of the accusations came from that location, you don't need it no more. Because did you know how to handle what you had? Isn't that biblical? Yeah. If you don't know how to handle what God gives you, you will be stripped of it. Whether you like it or not, whether you feel it's warranted or not, you won't have it anymore. So let's say, for argument's sake, he's innocent, and all of this stuff happened on the Neverland Ranch, and you still over there carrying on with these kids, knowing that more accusations can come. Then you've traumatized who? How many? Now people are talking about you, even when you didn't do anything, supposedly. You don't deserve the Neverland Ranch, because you have not learned to do what needs to be done to maintain what you have. We are charged to be good stewards over everything, because it all belongs to God. That is not something that we could play with, or it's mine. Ain't nothing ours. Nothing. I told y'all the other day, even my Mentos didn't belong to me. Everything God allows us to have, there's a purpose for, whether it's pleasantries or whether it's necessities. And how we approach God is going to make the difference in how our life goes. What happens in our life, how we approach God, will definitely make the difference in how we handle things. Because if you have that relationship with God and you got baptized and you have the Spirit of the Lord is going to be your GPS. It's going to tell you what to do, what not to do. It's going to tell you where to go and where not to go. You're going to pray that your steps are ordered by God, and you're going to follow the leading of the Lord. You're not going to go everywhere. I keep telling people who are even baptized, stop feeling like you can go everywhere you're invited to. You can't. There has to be some level of discretion as to where you go on a regular basis. And when I say on a regular basis, I don't mean that one thing regularly. I mean just period. You got to be on alert for where you go. You got to be on alert for where you're invited. People say, well, come on over. I can't say, yeah, I'm coming. No, I got to be very careful, because I don't need to go everywhere. And I'm going to tell you something. Some of the places where God is going to send us, we're not going to believe we should be there. Church people don't go there. I was visiting somebody on Rikers Island, and I ended up, God is amazing, I ended up being in a circle with a group of female COs. And I said something like, I'm a pastor, whatever. They asked me something. I said, I'm a pastor. And somebody said something, said, really? And I said, for real? And one of the other COs said, pastors don't say for real. I was like, listen, I got girls. I got teenagers. I got a teenager. I got, young ladies that are in the street that they go to school. And I got to know the terminologies out here. Wake up, girl. And the other people were looking at her like, what's wrong with for real? But again, that's what I'm saying to you. There is this perception that there are things that we can't do as Christians, and there are things that we can do As Christians, there are things that people feel we should do. As Christians, that God is saying, and there are things that people say we shouldn't do as Christians, and God's like, no, that's my visiting over there that day ended, when I tell you, it came out of nowhere. And I ended up, and they were like, can you pray with us? And I was like, absolutely. And when I looked up, the captain was walking by. There was about 5 or 6 of us. And the captain was walking by, and she was like, what y'all doing in there? And they said, we about to have prayer. She said, you won't have prayer without me in here today. Look at God. But if I listen to some people who say that Christians, pastors, shouldn't be over visiting people, I used to call it across the bridge, over on Rikers Island, then whatever reason is she asked that day, can you pray? I don't know what we were thwarting. And that's what I said to them. I said, you have to understand what just happened here. Your senses could have been in a direction that said, today ain't gonna be a good day. We need prayer. We got this opportunity. We have somebody here that we know she prays. Can we have prayer? And once she asked, all of a sudden you just saw everybody just swarming together. That's how we approach God. We approach God when we need to, even when we don't think the time is right. We approach God as a unit because 1 chases 1,000, but 2 can chase 10,000. We approach God with confidence, knowing that, you know what, God, I don't know what you brought in here today. I don't know what you preventing here, but you know what? I'm coming to you for whatever you can do, because I may not see it, but you can. We approach God with knowledge that there is nothing God can't do. We approach God with an ability to be able to do so, that there is nothing we can take to God, especially our needs. But here's the thing, the way we approach God, we got to make sure that what we do in life does not hinder that prayer. The word of God says, don't let the things in your life, don't let the things you do hinder your prayer. You don't want to be going to God and asking him for things, but yet he's like, oh really? Because you're not doing right, so I should answer everything for you, but yet the little things I ask you to do is off limits. Pay attention. The way we approach God is crucial. And we have to make sure that we do what we need to do at all times, and we do it the right way. Will we stumble? Will we fall? Will we have to be picked up? Absolutely. But remember, it's all in the way you approach God. Because I may see you as one way, but he says, while man looks at the exterior, on the outside, I search the heart. So we don't know whether Michael Jackson went to his grave guilty or innocent. We weren't there. We can look at what it looks like. We can go with what it sounds like. But we don't know. But what we do know is God knows. And the same way he knows ultimately what was going on with Michael Jackson, he ultimately knows what's going on with you. Do you want to continue to roll the dice and let God close your eyes and you in a mess? You want to make sure that you are standing upright with God, that you are doing the things that are supposed to be done. Not perfect, but do the things that God is expecting of us. And you stay at his feet as humble as you know how, trusting God to help clean you up, positioning yourself to be cleaned up. Make sure that's your position. Make sure you approach God the right way. All of these stories we've been talking about this week, last week, the week last month, last year, 2-3 years ago, all end in God. What are we doing for God? What are we doing that's right? And what are we doing that's wrong? Are we so busy being righteous and holy that we're not taking care of the basics? Because there's some basics that's oh yeah, they're basics. But we so busy doing all of this other stuff. We so hot in the Lord that we're not even handling the basics. We so busy doing all of this stuff that we're not paying our kids the proper attention. We're doing all of this stuff, and we so high and mighty that we're not making sure our children get the necessities. What are we doing to make sure we are where we need to be in the Lord and approaching God with a stance of humility and making sure that position is right will definitely enable us to get from God what we need. He will definitely talk to us and deal with us and speak to our heart and let us know what's wrong and what's right. So whatever we're doing wrong can be perfected. And that's what I always say we need to make happen. So, are you ready? Are you ready to get this thing done right? Good. Let's go on this journey together. Hang with me every morning from 7 to 9 right here on Facebook Live, Coach for Christian Life, YouTube Live, A Closer Walk Christian Media Network. Hang with me every day. Now, if you can't do the live from 7 to 9, we are on repeat 24 hours a day. You can go back to Facebook, you can go back to YouTube, and you can go to our podcast. We are on almost every streaming service: Spotify, iHeartRadio, Spreaker.com, FeedSpot, Apple iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, almost Amazon, Audible.com. There are very few streaming services that does not carry It's Due Time with Pastor Steph. So even if you can't catch us first thing in the morning, me and the Due Time crew, 7 to 9, you can definitely do what needs to be done. All right? I'm looking forward to it. You've been watching It's Due Time with Pastor Steph. Join us Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. where we discuss matters of the heart, mind, and spirit. As you go through your day, be sure to set your mind on things that are above, not things that are on the earth. They will only serve as a distraction. Remember, prayer changes things. It's Pastor Steph signing off, and I want to thank my Due Time crew, the men, for always taking us into a thought-provoking weekend. Thank you for hanging out with us each and every opportunity you get, and I pray that you just go back and listen. Just because you heard us live does not mean you can't go back, because baby, sometimes on that replay, you really get some stuff that you missed. Did you sneeze? Did you go to the bathroom? Were you paying attention to something else real quick? Oh, God can turn it around and give it back to you again and again and again. Please do not miss this opportunity to give Christ your life right now. Please do not miss this opportunity to strengthen that relationship with the Lord right now, because later is not promised to any of us. Until over the weekend, we're just going to leave it just like that. Until, make sure you stay subscribed. So whenever we live up here on It's Due Time with Pastor Steph on A Closer Walk Christian Media Network, you will get that notification. Make sure you set that notification bell so you can get that ding, ling, 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 and you do not miss it. Until the next time God spares, I love you.